Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Guys, NHL teams always talk about the importance of building through the draft. The Canadiens have done pretty well at the draft in recent years. Who do you think is the best Canadiens draft pick since the team selected Carey Price for the 5th overall in 2005? Rick, let's start with you.
2022 draft, Slafkovsky and this guy named Hudson, all of a sudden immediate impact and amazing choices. And it's if you look back at some guys that didn't make the cut, there's a number of them, but these two guys from that draft year have obviously had a huge impact, and hats off to the organization for picking them.
Knuckles?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go against that. I mean, Lane Hudson and Slav, come on. Those two.
I like Hudson as the best just because Slav was number 1 overall, and Hudson 62nd overall. I mean, he was like 138 pounds or something when they drafted him. That was a hell of a pick.
Like everybody's passing on him. Little guy, Bill Guerin's passing on him too for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
How about Brendan Gallagher, 147th?
Yeah, you can get into all that stuff, but really, where it was picked in the draft, you'd have to say Hudson over Slav, because Slav certainly, but everybody thought it was Shane Wright going to be number 1, right? And everyone picked Slav, so that's a good one, and certainly Demidov. Hello.
Yeah, falling down to 5th overall. I mean, Cole Caulfield, 15th overall. As you mentioned last week, I think it was, Knuckles, he sort of fell into Bergevin's lap.
Yeah.
Another guy that got passed over because he was too small. But a great pick that Bergevin had when he was GM, Oliver Kapanen, 64th overall in 2021. Who, Bergevin always talked to, he was always looking for that second line center, and maybe he found him, even though he's not around to see him in there. Of course, that came after he picked Logan Mayo in the first round. We know how that all went through. Knuckles, I know you were a pretty good draft pick by the Canadiens too. You weren't not an early round pick.
No, I was 17th round at the time, and I was 231 out of 235.
Yeah, and with Rick on the opposite end of the spectrum, number 1 overall. When you got drafted, Knuckles, did you have any real belief you'd actually be able to make it, being drafted that late?
Oh, I did. No one else did. I did. I'm like, I was determined, but I had the confidence I could get where I wanted to go, and I did. It was crazy. Like, Nobody gave. I had a snowball's chance in hell, according to everybody else, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, Rick, number 1 overall pick. Washington made a good pick picking you. Canadiens made a great trade getting you. Key part of the 1986 Stanley Cup championship. But if you want to know why the Canadiens needed to rebuild, here's their first round draft picks from 2009 through 2018. You guys ready? This might make Habs fans cry. 2009, Louis LeBlanc. 2010, Jared Tenorti. 2011, Nathan Beaulieu. 2012, Alex Galchenyuk. 2013, Mike McCarron. 2014, Nikita Sherbak. 2015, Noah Jolson. 2016, Mikhail Sergachev. Great pick, but they traded him to Tampa for Jonathan Drouin. 2017, Ryan Poehling, and 2018, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. I remember when they drafted Kotkaniemi, Knuckles, remember the camera went to the woman in the stands who was like...
He almost dropped dead. Yeah. and Sergachev was the best pick out of all of them, and they traded him for Drouin.
Yeah, and you sorry, go ahead, Rick.
No, I was just going to say, there's a little bit of a crapshoot. I mean, obviously, judging by the past, some luck out and some don't. I remember Greg Jolly was drafted the first pick with the Washington Capitals. It was like, Greg Jolly. And, the list goes on. So Edmonton for the long time was drafting high, weren't getting anything that could play.
You
And
kept drafting the same player, right? The same type of player every time.
yeah,
Well,
so it's, you know,
I know my draft here, right? 78. Danny Jeffrion was picked by the Canadiens in the first round. He was their first pick. And I was like one of their last.
Wow. So for yourself, Rick, I know the draft's changed a lot over the years. Now it's a big TV show and that. How did you find out that you were the number one pick?
Max McNabb, my agent told me that we'd probably be going in the top 4. Bernie Federico was in that mix. But the draft was, Rick, you're going to get a call the draft morning from Max McNabb and saying he's drafting you, come down to Washington and we'll sign you up to that huge contract back in 76. So yeah, that was, I don't care. It was really special times for me, and it gave me an opportunity to learn how to play defense because I was in my zone for 6 years and never got out of it defensively.
Well, so, Knuckles, I have the list of Habs draft picks from 1978 in front of me here, and I'll read them off for you. There's quite a few before they got to you. First round, Dan Jeffrey on 8th overall. First round, Dave Hunter, 17th overall. Second round, Dale Yakowicz, I think that's it. Ron Carter, Richard Davis, 3rd round. Kevin Reeves, 4th round. Mike Boyd, 5th round. Keith Acton, 6th round. There's a good pick. Jim Lawson, 7th round. Larry Landon, 8th round. Kevin Constantine, 9th round. John Swan, 10th round. Dan Medivier, 11th round. Vyacheslav Fedosov, 12th round. Jeff Mars, 13th round. Greg Tiganelli, 14th round. George Goulakis, 15th round. Ken Moody, 16th round. Serge Laban, 17th round. Bob Magnuson, 18th round. And Chris Nilan, 231st overall, 19th round. I think, Knuckles, you're an inspiration for any kid who's ever a late round draft pick.
Yeah. Just you have to beat the shit out of a few people where you want to go.
Rick, it is a crapshoot, the NHL draft. I mean, every team misses out. Canadiens fans focus on the Canadiens and look at their bad picks. Every team has bad picks. I mean, look at all the guys who passed on Lane Hudson for the number 1 overall pick. How much extra pressure did you feel on you being the number 1? I mean, there's no pressure on Knuckles obviously coming in. Nobody expected him to do what he did. Capitals were obviously expecting a lot out of you. How did you handle that pressure back then?
I felt the pressure. I was fortunate. I had a really good junior career, and expectations were you were going to carry on into the NHL and what you did best. And you just have a lot of pride in doing a good job and being consistent and doing whatever you had to do to make an impact. And it was not the easiest situation to go into an environment like Washington, but I didn't care. I was given the opportunity. I had a chance to play 35 minutes a game and learn the game, and again enjoyed the ride.
Yeah, Knuckles, one of the things that impresses me about the Canadiens draft, they talk about Shane Wright was sort of, he was the kid coming up, right? He was going to be the number 1, and then they went with Slafkovsky. But one of the things that the Canadiens management has done is try and get kids that they think can handle the pressure of playing in Montreal. And Slafkovsky is a prime example. I mean, this kid, the way ups and downs, he's handled it really well. Lane Hudson's handled it well. Cole Caulfield's handled it well. Can you relate to sort of the pressure these kids have coming in here and playing in this market?
Yeah, it's a little different. I think the expectation back in our day was like, you got to win the Stanley Cup. So, we talk about pressure there from the outside, but, it's how you deal with it, how you're able to motivate yourself to be able to, at times, put take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth and shut up. And then there's times you got to take it out of your mouth and stick it in your ears and just go about your business. And that, again, it's not easy because there's a lot of outside influences, people talking at you, fans talking at you, the media, the French media, the English media, all that. They have guys that certainly, and when you grow up here, you grow up in the province, it's a little bit different than coming from the outside a different animal. But you grow up here as a player, you get used to certain things. And today they coach these kids. They let them know the nuances and the negatives, the potential hazards, if you will, to watch out for. So, and that pressure you put on yourself to succeed and do well and have pride in your own game. That comes from within.
Yeah, well, striking out. Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I was just going to say, you talk about pressure and relating to being the first pick for the Capitals. I found more pressure coming to Montreal in the trade, Ryan Walter and myself, coming into this environment with the storied franchise and the success in the winning years. And it wasn't going to be a question of, okay, we just give 4 guys for 2. We don't really care about the playoffs happening. We just want to win a Stanley Cup. So you guys better help us do that, because we just traded 4 really good players to get you guys, and you better find a way to bring a cup back. And thank goodness, and we did it, and it was an interesting run.
Well, poor drafting and development, a big reason why the Canadiens had to rebuild. And good drafting and development is a big reason, probably the biggest reason why this rebuild has been working so far. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode, our last of the week. We'll be back with our weekly Hockey Inside Out Show on Wednesday next week, followed by 3 more bonus episodes. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And in case you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is available now also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.